100 greatest sci-fi movies of all time. As written in the scrolls by your boy, me, C, the host of most of the things here on the Paprika Network, man. We're going about this one podcast a day for the first 100 days of 2022 as we count down what I think are the 100 best sci-fi movies from 100 to 1. Yesterday, man, we got into a number 98. We're talking a little Alita Battle Angel, Robert Rodriguez. Was that Rosa Salazar? Your main star up in there, man. It's good stuff. If you, like I said, if you haven't watched in a while, it might be one word. Go ahead and checking it out yet again. But today, man, we're on number 97, which I do believe puts us at January 4th, if my math is correct, man. So we're still fresh into this hellscape 2022 has given us. But here's me with a couple of 5 minutes to make your day a little bit brighter. Today we're talking about 2009's Avatar. That's right. You knew it was going to be on the list somewhere. Directed by our boy James Cameron. As I've said once, I've said a million times, James Cameron does not miss. Don't bet against James Cameron. The dude will lay low for 3 centuries and come back with a fucking 103-mile-an-hour fastball right down the plate, and you'll never see it coming, man. The dude's capable of some wild shit. Probably because who knows why. All right, let's talk about a little bit about Avatar, man. Enter the world of Pandora. In the 22nd century, a paraplegic Marine is dispatched to the moon Pandora on a unique mission, but becomes torn between following orders and protecting an alien civilization. Now, what is the main detraction of this movie? It's the derivative nature of it, right? A lot of people say, oh, we've already seen this. And we have seen it. We've seen it a million different places. You could say we saw it in Pocahontas, right? People say that. A lot of people throw out Fern Gully. Maybe The Last Samurai, maybe even Shogun, if you want to go back to old James Clavell's Shogun, man. So, you know, we have had stories of an outsider who fell in with a different culture and became ingratiated to that culture and kind of, you know, for lack of a better phrase, turned his back on his own people, you know, to varying levels of malice. And usually in movies like this, they kind of end up fighting with the natives against, you know, his own people because they've seen the way. You get this a lot in white savior type movies, right? I know a lot of people thought, was that Matt Damon, the Great Wall of China movie or whatever. I know there was a lot of criticisms of that from people who never saw the movie. I never saw the movie, so I kept my mouth shut. But I think a lot of people assumed that they were going to go for the white savior trope. If they didn't, somebody let me know, please. But that's the main detractor of this movie. It's why everyone immediately wrote it off, I think. But I think there's a lot more happening than just a well-tread story. Because let's be honest, a lot of the shit we watch are just well-tread stories. It's what you do with the concept. That's what makes it original and fresh for you. So you got a whole host of people in this joint, man. Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, our girl Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, Michelle Rodriguez, who should have been Maria Hill in the MCU, Giovanni Ribisi, up in the CCH Pounder, I forget in this movie, Wes Studi's in this joint, Laz Alonso. There's a lot of shit happening going on with this movie, man. And I think it's what it comes down to with Avatar is its ability, Cameron's ability to world build like nothing we've ever seen before. Like Peter Jackson's world building in Lord of the Rings is probably the top of the list, but man, Avatar might be like a half step below that. That and the 3D nature of it. Let's not forget that we got that long string of movies coming out in 3D. It's thanks to Avatar, because Avatar in 3D, I think, is hands down the only way that this movie should ever be experienced. Man, it ties back into that world building nature. Like I caught myself at one point actually reaching out for a leaf that was falling down because it was that well done. Are the characters a little bit cliched? You can definitely say they are, but I still think there's good chemistry between the characters. I mean, you know, the Hollywood tried to cram Sam Worthington down our throats for a couple of years, and it didn't quite take. But I don't think he's all that bad in this movie. Actually, I don't think he's all that bad in Terminator either. And Sigourney Weaver and a James Cameron joint, we're always going to show over that. This I think is the same year as Star Trek, so this is kind of what really put Zoe Saldana on the map for a lot of people. Is what put Stephen Lang on the map for me. So there's pluses to this movie that I think far outweigh the negatives, and it's Cameron just letting his imagination cut loose, and there are a few directors out there that I'm just happy with letting them cut loose with their imagination. Just let them go for it. Spielberg's on that list. Lucas is on that list. Just let somebody else do the actual writing. Of course, Cameron's on that list as well. There's people out there that you just let them fucking rip if they got a story to tell. And I think Avatar is one of those well-done stories when he just lets his imagination rip. It's been over a decade since this movie, and we still got another year or two before Avatar 2 comes out. Or I think it's supposed to come out sometime this year, supposedly. And I gotta say, I'm still kind of excited. He said he's gonna explore the oceans of Pandora in this movie, and I'm like, all right, well, you saw the skies of Pandora in Avatar, so give me something new, man. I'm gonna be there for it because I think Avatar gets a bit of a bad rap. It's the $1 billion movie that nobody talks about anymore. But you gotta remember, when this first came out, man, people were having those crazy LARP sessions, acting like they were Na'vi, because cats really tapped into this movie in a big bad way when it first came out. This is the most interesting movie I think that's on this list because of how bright and how fast it burned out, man. It was Pandora stuff everywhere, Avatar stuff everywhere, and then everybody clearly said, man, fuck this movie. And then it just kind of disappeared out of all of our collective consciousness until people started shitting on it again. I saw this movie like three or four times in theaters. I'm one of the reasons this joint hit $1 billion as quick as it did, and I think it is worth a rewatch. If you're one of the people that's been shitting on it for this whole past decade, I implore you to sit down and really give this movie a fresh, clean start, man. And you think you might be caught up in the camera's direction, in the action and in the adventure. The set pieces of this movie are very well done, man. And it's got, a little bit of an environmentalist tinge to it, man. A little bit of Save the Planet nonsense in there as well. So there's a bit of a positive story in there at the heart of all this, man. But that's it for number, 97 on the list, man. Man, check out Avatar again, man. Give it a fair shake, man. That's it for this bit of business. Like I said, we'll be back in 24 hours with yet another one. We'll see what 96 is here in 24 hours. Until then, you all take it easy and have a good one.